So I want you just to find a part of your body that feels somewhat calm. I'm going to treat it as if it's the breath. The breath is not always a great object for everybody. So if you know that, you can choose some other part of your body, the feet on the ground or your butt on the seat or anything else. We want to allow this object in our body to draw us into the present moment, almost magnetically pulling us into the present moment by the sensory qualities that it's made up of. So if we're feeling the breath in the belly or feeling the breath coming in the nostrils, we want to allow the present moment sensory experience to draw our attention to it. As we do that, other energies that want to pull on our attention arise. That is totally normal and fine. We allow those energies to play out, sort of moving the attention and shaking it, bouncing it around. But there is a constant gravitational pull. This is often called the anchor of your meditation. That is the object of your meditation. The anchor is pulling you back and down into the present moment experience. This is a very simple part of the practice and very powerful, just bringing our attention back to the object of meditation, the breath in the belly, the breath in the nostrils, the breath in the throat, the breath over the whole torso, just really feeling it. And when our mind or attention wanders, we notice that. It's not a big obstacle. We then allow the gravity, the anchor, to pull us back. Some days concentration will be easy, some days it'll be hard. It's just like a workout. It's not complicated. It's okay if the mind is jumpy. If you want to help the concentration, use a label. So here we can label the in-breath in and the out-breath out. So in our head, it might sound like this: in, out, in, out. They are different. The in-breath experience is different from the out-breath experience. You might feel some energy and expansion on the in-breath. And I want you to notice the relaxation that happens on the out-breath. There's a letting go as you breathe out. So we all find ourselves in different places each day. So if you're finding the concentration challenging, you just keep coming back to it. You really use the label, you really notice the relaxation. If you're starting to feel concentrated and easy, then I want you to start letting go of effort, releasing effort, allowing the object to hold your attention without you doing anything. If you're really concentrated, start feeling the breath from awareness. That is, don't try to control your attention. Let the attention do itself, and you drop back into awareness and just become aware of the whole meditative process, which includes your attention focusing on the breath. If that means nothing to you, just ignore it. It's okay if the concentration is not going easily today, but know that stillness, peacefulness are here, even if you don't feel like they're here. And if you do feel like they're here, even greater stillness and greater spaciousness is here. There is an unbounded stillness, an unbounded awakeness that is here and is supporting your practice. And you can just know it's there. You don't have to go find it. You don't have to go struggle for it. Just you be wherever you are, but just remind yourself that there is an okayness that is underneath all of it. That's watching and experiencing and holding the space for everything that's happening. So our desires and our beliefs are very energetic. And when we focus on them, they can release a lot of energy that can make it a little hard to focus. It's very useful to build up some concentration, some spaciousness to really be able to work with them. It's worth trying either way. But today, if you want to just keep staying with your breath, there's nothing wrong with that. Or if you start to tune into your desires or your beliefs, and it's too much, then come back to your breath, come back to your resource. But from whatever stillness we've found, I'm just going to ask ourselves a question. Either what or where is my desire right now? What is my desire right now? Might bring things up. Or where is my desire right now? We're not answering with the mind, because we're not trying to figure out the answer. This is more like a koan or a direct path teaching. You ask the question as a way of directing your experience. So what arises in your experience when you say, what do I want right now? So it could be sounds in the head, could be pictures in the head. Ultimately, it's probably most fruitful to notice what arises in the body. Because we can get very caught in our thoughts and the story of what we want, as opposed to, no, right now, my body wants something. And my body doesn't want something 10 years from now. It wants something right now. It's one of the most important things to tune into. The real desire is a desire about this present moment. The other desires are stories about desires. So at first, this could be like speaking through a glacier. That is, the desire is on the other side of a lot of repression, mental repression. So you might not get a response. That's okay. You just ask the question and allow the thought to begin. But even if you notice the simplest desire to scratch your nose or to adjust in your seat or to clear your throat, that's a way to start into the river of energy that is your motivational self. And just go, where did that come from? Where did my desire to scratch my nose come from? Where did the desire to clear my throat come from? What was it made of? Right now, you may just be dipping your toes in, but this is this very powerful practice, because what we're ultimately trying to do is throw ourselves into the river of energy that is our motivational system, and to allow it to start to flow, to allow ourselves to come into harmony with the energy that moves us. Over time, this gives you access to great energy in your life, great creativity. But you have to first let go of the restrictions on feeling your desires. What do I want right now? You really get into that kind of flow of desire. Really simple impulses could happen. You could want to yawn or cry or snarl or growl. You could want to laugh. You could want, your mouth could water. Very simple animalistic responses could start to move through the body. If you're getting caught in your head, come back to the breath, find some center, And then re-ask the question, what is it I want right now? Where is my want right now? Now, this is a meditation practice, so you might have been taught to be still, but for this practice, especially at the beginning, you might want to allow a little bit more expression in your body than you would normally. Let's not go full dancing unless you really want to, but maybe you want to chuckle or cry, or maybe you do want to adjust. Just do it very mindfully, feeling the desire moving you. Over time, this all becomes energetic, so you can sit super still and allow the desire to move. It's all internal. But at first, we're so repressed with our desires that it's useful to allow them to activate. Lots of things could happen there. It could be just simple physical adjustment. It could be an emotional expression. It could be that I just really want someone to touch my head or hold my body or put a hand on my heart, right? Yeah. Often for lots of us, our desires are blocked in the throat. There's things we want to say or express that we have not said or expressed. You're all muted. If a sound wants to come out, that's allowed. If that feels like too much, just can you feel any energy moving in your throat that wants to express? Maybe it wants to make an expression on your face. Maybe it just wants to open your mouth. We're starting. I hope you can sense there's energy beginning to move in your bodies now. This can feel one of two ways. It can start to feel really pleasurable because you're tuning into your creative energy, your desiring energy. It can also start to feel painful as the energy is moving up against the obstacles to that energy that have been there for a long time. And that's okay. That's normal. And all of us will get both of those at different times. What I'm suggesting here is it's a very Zen kind of practice. It's part of Zen to be able to move mindfully. And that is to move with the flow of reality without the mind getting in the way. And Zen masters are notorious for moving, they just move differently than other people. It's because they are tuning into the source of their motivation. They're letting it flow naturally through their experience. The spiritual desire to meditate can be an obstacle to our deeper desires. Spiritual desires about how things should be or what I want to accomplish or those kinds of things that are mental can block us because a lot of our desires are very animalistic at first. They're very basic, they're very emotional. And they're good. It's good to have desires. The body is supposed to have desires. That's how it works through the world. as what we want to wake up from is our identification with those desires. But we only do that just by fully accepting what they are and seeing them as they are. As you do this, you might find the desire running up against a blockage in your system somewhere. That blockage is another desire. Okay. So we're breathing in, we're breathing out. We might feel the energy starting to move, like this is where my desire is. And then you might feel it stuck and be uncomfortable or painful. That stuckness is another desire. It's a desire to not fully feel this. It's a desire to not get out of control. It's a desire to hold back feelings you don't think you should have. And it can be useful at that point to really focus in on the stuckness. It can also be useful to switch to a belief, to start to feel into your beliefs. It might be too complicated for today. Unless that feels really natural, don't worry about it. But it can be useful to go, what does this stuckness believe? What do I believe right now? For most of us, you can sort of know when you're finally feeling and waking up to a desire because you'll feel a little more alive. Might not feel good, but you'll feel more alive, more vibrant, more, there'll be an increased intensity. Okay, so I don't want you to you don't need to shut anything down. The desires are going to keep happening. They happen all the time. But we're going to just finish by turning our attention back to our breath or a resource in the body. The super advanced way to do this is to find the desire that will bring your attention back to resource. That is, instead of deciding to do it, you allow the energy of motivation to pull you back to resource. But if that's not available, you just turn your attention back to your breath. You can label in and out if you want. And you allow the desire to keep flowing on the breath. As you breathe in, you still want. As you breathe out, you still want. But find yourself some sense of peacefulness or okayness in your physical experience as you finish. This is beautiful work. There's a lot of life coming online. I can see that it's painful a little bit for some of you. In, out. Okay, now just let go of all effort. Allow your attention to go where your attention wants to go. Don't do anything. Don't change anything. So allow your experience to coast. Okay. You, as you wish, you can slowly come out of this. I want you to use some of what we were working with there to allow your body to move as you come out of this practice. So stillness is useful, but movement is useful. Allow yourself to stretch, to roll your shoulders. You might want to stand up. In fact, I'll stand up and do a little stretch of myself. I'll be back in a couple minutes. Really do something to allow your body to move how it wants to move right now.